I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
So, from the title of the video, you guys know, today has not been a very good day. You can see I'm in the trenches right now. This is the trench for the three-phase electrical, the underground. This is what's called the primary. This goes from the power lines over to the transformer. All right, so first, the good news. Let's start with the good, then we'll get to the bad. How about that? All right, so the electrical is underway. The ditch is complete. All this dirt came out of that ditch and it needs to go back in there. The inspector came by. We had one come by yesterday, and we had another one come by today. They looked at the ditch, the mesh for the ditch. They asked for 5 feet deep. So this ditch needed to be 5 feet deep from the surface. I gave them close to 6 feet because, number one, I thought it was gonna rain, and I was afraid some of this dirt was gonna wash in there and fill up part of the ditch. So we gave it extra depth. And number two, I didn't want to give them any reason to fail this inspection, because I mean, we're trying to get this done, right? So one came by yesterday, another one came by today. Today was the, I guess you can call it the official inspection. By the way, we're done with this thing. These guys, I told you, but they treat us really well. We've used some of the other big names. My day job is construction, and it's been for 25 years. But anyway, equipment share, those guys treat us right. Pipes come to here. Those are called long sweep 90s, and they're made out of metal. They're rigid, called rigid. Okay. And then we have to put that tape there so it doesn't corrode. And then we have to put these pipes coming up to there. So the power company, they're gonna run the wire, and then they just take it from there. All is good, right? So they come, they look at the ditch, they measure it, they go, oh yeah, looks great. You can cover it now. Woohoo! Which is great because I need that trailer tomorrow, and there's a big ditch in the way. So I'm gonna cover it, and then I'll get the truck out of here and trailer. Everything was going great. My day was going amazing, to be honest with you. It's a nice day. So yesterday, they came and told us, you know, the guy that came by yesterday told me, so this is the primary. This is what's coming out, you know, all the way to the pole, go to here. And this is the secondary. It's gonna go from here to there. Those pipes were over here. Obviously, they can be there, but it depends how they're gonna install the transformer. So he come and look at it, and he said, no, we need these pipes over here. I said, well, no big deal. We had extra pipe. So this morning, my electricians, the first thing they did is they worked on that. They spliced, you know, more pipe. They moved everything over. They cut everything loose, moved it over. So he said, move these pipes over, and you're going to need a ground rod. There it is. Inspector comes by today. He looks at the ditch. Everything looks great. Everything's great. And of course, I knew we were gonna pass because we had one of their guys come by yesterday and tell us the thing that we were doing wrong, and we fixed it. Right? Oh, one other thing they told us is those pipes need to be 80 inches from the building. Well, they're 82 inches, because give them a little extra, right? Because we don't want them to fail us. He shows up today, again, approves all of that. He gets to here, and he says, those are good, but these, they need to have long sweep rigid 90s, like the other ones. I said, what do you mean? He says, those, you can't have those short sweep 90s. They have to be rigid, and they need to be long sweep. So I asked questions. I'm like, what do you mean? Because to install a long sweep 90, number one, we need to dig the ditch deeper. You can imagine, right? And of course, how the heck are we gonna get here now? We already dug this 3 days ago, whenever, right? We dug it before all these pipes were in the way. So that was the first question. What do you mean? And he said, well, long sweep 90s. And I said, one of you guys came by yesterday and he had us move everything. He said nothing, absolutely nothing about long sweep rigid 90s. And I said, why do you need the long sweep rigid 90s? He says, well, because it makes it easier to pull the wire. And I said, you're going 15 feet. I said, I'll tell you what, I will pull the wire. When you guys show up, I will have the wire ran, and all you guys have to do is hook up. Plus, your guy didn't say anything about this. And he says, well, let me call him. So he calls this other guy, and the guy goes, well, yeah, I was there, but I only told them about the pipe placement. I never told them it were right pipes. So guess what we have to do now? We have to remove these pipes once again and replace them with, long sweep rigid 90s, which means we have to dig. Now this needs to be done by hand. They made us move everything over only so that they can later tell us that, okay, now that you moved it over, you need to change out the pipes. Number two, he measures. I'm laughing because now this is just funny. He measures from here to the wall. And he says, Mr. Cortina, that's only 82 inches. That's not going to be enough. I said, look, I called and I told you, because see, he staked it back here. This is where he had the stake. And he expected us to go with a ditch around like this, okay? Could we have done it? Possibly. But instead of going through the trouble, I called him and I asked him if I could move the stake over. He called me back and he left me a voicemail and he said 80 inches. I have the voicemail. So again, we gave him 82 inches. Well, now he's telling me that 82 inches is not enough, that we may have to move all of this, even though I have a voicemail where he's telling me 80 inches. So he says, now I have to go measure the transformer. And if it doesn't fit, you're gonna have to move all of this. Yeah, this is what I'm dealing with. Yeah, blood pressure gauge is like, because, I don't mind doing the work, guys. You guys know me. This is what I do every day. I work construction. I've been in construction for 25 years. I don't mind hard work. What bothers me is this. They tell me to do one thing and we do it, and then they go, no, you got to do this other thing. And then we do it and they're like, ha. Okay, now we want you to change it again. That's what bothers me. Here's the other thing that really freaking bothered me, and I wasn't going to tell anyone about this, but right now I'm not in a good mood, so I'm going to tell you. They require this switch right here. This is a fusible switch or something of that nature. It's a disconnect, okay? So if something goes wrong, instead of going to that box and that box and that other box and turning all the breakers off, they can go to that box and turn it all off. However, the National Electrical Code says less than 6 throws of a hand, you do not need a main disconnect. Throws of a hand means exactly what it means. That's 1 throw of a hand, 1 throw of a hand, and 1 throw of a hand. 3. Code says 6 or less, you do not need that. That box right there, not only did it cost $3,000 or something like that, it was the one that took the longest to get. And I told them many times, I said, hey, code says, and they finally just say, look, we don't care what code says, you got to do it because we say so. So guess what? There's $3,000 of my money only because they say so. And guess what? If we don't do it, they're not gonna freaking hook up my power. And they know that, which is what really pisses me the off. And now I gotta vent to you, but you know, this is what's going on. This is what I'm dealing with, and it just freaking frustrates the crap out of me. Because I know you were waiting on your parts, and I'm trying to get them to you. But this is the crap I'm dealing with every day. Every day I'm having to do, jump this hoop, jump that hoop. Now you gotta jump that hoop. You know what I mean? And these guys can't even freaking agree with each other. One guy tells me one thing, we do it. The other guy tells me the next thing, and we do it. And then they talk to each other, and then they're like, well, how can we cover our ass the most? Let's do that. Make him spend his freaking money so we can cover our asses. Oh, we made a mistake? No big deal. Make him fix it. That's what upsets me the most. You can see the electricians, they said, you know what? We're gonna go get some lunch. Because they were also upset. Why wouldn't they be? You know, we made them do all that work, and now, luckily, they were here when the inspector showed up, and he was the one, they were standing right there when the inspector's telling us, we gotta move all this crap all over again. They're looking at me, because I'm the one that told them they need to move it from there to here. And I'm like, you know, what do you want me to do? I mean, and they know it's not me, but they're looking at me like, dude, what? They're giving me that this is BS look, and I know it is. And you know who else knows it is? The inspector. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't freaking matter. It's just, my goodness. Whatever, you know, it's just, you know, we gotta do it. Gotta fix it. And here's the problem. Once we move it, you know, we're gonna have to, they don't realize what it takes to move all this stuff. They just say move it and that's it, right? The big problem is, once we move all of that, who's to say that they're gonna prove it then? What if they come up, what if they, tonight, while they're asleep, they dream up of something else they want me to do just because? What if? You know, what if? That's the problem. Like, give me some freaking consistency, guys. Like, one guy tells me one thing, the next one tells me the next thing, and that's how they roll. They don't care. They don't care about, you know, they don't care about the inconveniences they're causing. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. You know, you know, the only freaking reason he told me is, you know, it's gonna be hard to pull the wire. I said, I'll pull the wire. Don't worry, I'll pull the wire. I'll put it in there. Just tell me. I'll have the wire here. When you guys show up, I'll have all the wires. No. You got to do this. And anyway, it's just whatever. So that's that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to hear this, but I got to share this with you guys because you guys are the people that support me. And like I said, a lot of you don't understand what I'm going through, and this is what I'm going through, and a lot of you will understand. So I'm touching off some tools here. I have another inspector, not inspector, god dang it, I said inspector again. I have another trainer coming over who's gonna train me a little more on this lathe. I already made some parts. Of course, I didn't make any brakes because I gotta start. I gotta run, or what is it? I gotta walk before I run. So this is a tuner brake. This is not a tuner brake. Oh man, I'm still freaking agitated. All right. This is one of my tapered easy tuners. Okay. And look at the finish on that thing. This is straight out of the machine. Look at that. That is pretty freaking impressive. I did not do the backside. Like I said, you're supposed to transfer, and then this thing would hold it like this. I'll show you. Like this. Maybe not as, something like that. And then, you know, the backside of this machine would take care of that, and then it spit out a finished part. I'm not brave enough to do that yet, but I wanted to make sure this was running properly so that when the trainer shows up, we can jump straight into doing that, which I think is pretty smart. This is the next one that I was about to do, but I broke an insert. That's why I'm having to touch it off again. But look at that. Look at the finish on that thing. This is straight off the machine. This is awesome. Awesome stuff. There's a car here that I don't know. I think that's the trainer. Are you a trainer?
Yes.
Are you with MG?
Yep.
DMG? I said MG. They sell lumber. All right, so training starts now. All right, so me and Ross, this is Ross. We've been training for a couple of hours. And we're making parts. You guys know I made a part the other day, but now we perfected it. We're to the point that everything on the main spindle is working well. So now we're gonna start working on the sub spindle. What that's gonna happen is before this part gets cut off, the sub spindle is gonna come grab it like that. And then we need to add tools to this side of the turret so that we can machine the other side. And that way, when it's done, or when it spits it out, it'll be completely done. You guys met Michael last week. Now Ross is here. So now you get to meet Ross. Ross, stand over here. This is where the light's best.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Tell me who you are and why you're here.
Ross Morganroth. I'm with DMG Mori. I've been with them for about 20 years now. I specialize in these type of lathe products, and we're here to make the best parts we can.
So you were telling me that you run like this. What is this axis wise? How many axes? What is this considered?
So this particular machine has it's what we call a 4-axis lathe. It's got X, Y, and Z plus the C axis for the rotary. I specialize in machines that go all the way up to 9 axis, multi-turrets, milling, all the accessories and bells and whistles.
So whenever I get a 5-axis mill,
that's actually a different beast than I work on.
oh, so you're talking about lathes only?
I'm talking about lathes that have 9 axes.
Oh, so you're talking about like, there's
It's got a turret up here, it's got a turret down here, it's got spindles on both sides, true production machines, and those machines go anywhere from a 6-inch chuck about this big to probably a 36-inch chuck.
Wow, so you're talking lathes only?
Yes.
Does Mori make like Swiss style stuff?
We make those as well.
Wow. If you don't know what a Swiss style lathe is, just go to YouTube and type in, of course after you're done watching this video, just type in Swiss style lathe. Those things are incredible. But those usually make small parts, right?
Yes, those are, Swiss machines are specialized in mass production of small parts.
Yeah. So you were telling me you've made parts that have went to space?
I've made parts that have gone to space. I've made parts that for oil and gas, aerospace, parts that go in the human body. I've done a little bit of everything.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And now you made an easy tuner.
And now I've made an easy tuner.
This is the first time, right? You made an easy tuner.
Haven't seen them before today.
There you go. And hopefully before you're gone, we'll make a tuner break.
If we don't make that before I'm gone, you'll know how to make it.
Exactly, that's what I like to hear. As I've been telling you guys, every single person from DMG Mori that I have met has been top-notch, extremely knowledgeable. I mean, where else am I gonna find a guy that has worked on, how many axes on the lathe?
9.
9 axis lathes. I don't know where to find them, but Mori seems to have a lot of these guys.
Yes, we have a lot of experience as a company.
So, were you a machinist before, or?
Yes. Yeah, I had about 8 years experience when I started with Mori, and I was one of the younger people they hired back then. And then I've grown up as I've gone with the company.
Awesome. So how long you been with Mori?
20 years.
20 years.
I joined up in November of 2000.
2000, wow. That's cool stuff. All right, man, so now we're gonna set up some more tools here, and then we're gonna start working on this side. Cool stuff. Look at this part. Look how shiny. Did I tell you? Look how shiny this. He's laughing. He's laughing, but this is, I've been having to polish these things by hand for the last decade. This is so, okay, I showed you one. They're all like that. They're all like that. Anyway, I'm excited. I know the video started quite differently, but now things are getting better. Ross, you complete me.
Glad to help.
All right, so we just got done with training. It's 6:30 p.m. and I just shut down the generator, and now I need to drain the water from the compressor. Do this every day. I wish there was an easier way. I'm joking. Of course, there's an easier way. My automatic water thingy is coming tomorrow or day after. Oh, look at that. Wow. That is crazy. I don't think I drained it yesterday. Look how much water comes out of that. That's crazy. But anyway, a lot of you have obviously told me that this is a problem, and I did order a filter, and I ordered a automatic blow-off thing. So all that is coming. I'm probably gonna get a a dryer. Right now I just ordered a filter because it's just gonna go to the lathe right now. But you know, once we get all set up, I'm gonna get a really good dryer, cooler, whatever they call that thing. It looks like a little refrigerator. So that's what I'm gonna do. But for now, I've been draining the water every day. And then, whoa, dark in here, turn on the light. So I've been draining the water every day, and like I said, I ordered a filter, but I understand that's not good. I get it. 6:30 p.m. I've been out here since 6 a.m. Of course, you guys didn't get to see any of that fun stuff. But now, here's the ditch still uncovered. I need that trailer tomorrow, and there's a ditch in the way. So now I need to cover up that ditch, at least enough just to get that trailer out of here. And because yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Here's the rigid 90s, and here's the electrical. It would have been ready for concrete, but anyway, you guys saw the beginning of the video. Can't do it yet. We gotta replace those pipes once again. And anyway, I don't want to think about it because blood pressure just shoots straight up when I look at that. But another thing that I have not been telling you about that we're working on is we're adding data to this building. We had a camera up there. You can see we have a switch now and a Wi-Fi thingy so that we can have Wi-Fi in here. We added another camera over here. So, because from there we would only see the side of the machine. Now that we have this camera here, we'll be able to see everything else. All right, so while they were here, I just had them add one more camera. Originally, we were gonna do it on this side, but I don't think it was worth the trouble. So one there. That pretty much lets us see the whole shop. We started to get a little organized. This is our shipping envelopes. This is our containers. So your brake will come, or even tuners, they're gonna come in one of these. So finally they came in, finally. We waited forever for those things. One of you, I didn't even ask if I could say your name, but one of you, my viewers, reached out to me and said, hey, you want some of those? I have a lot of those you can have. I said, man, absolutely. So thank you so much for that. We couldn't get any for some reason, and finally they came in, but he got us about a few hundred of those things. Man, they were extremely helpful because we needed them. But anyway, shop's coming together. Of course, that thing is it's already making parts, and tomorrow we work on the transfer for the sub spindle. That is gonna be exciting because up to the point that I'm doing it right now, I've been able to do with my other little lathe. Well, we're not doing the holes or anything, but the point is, it's the transfer and finishing the backside of the part that's really gonna make things, you know, just the fact that I'll be able to reach in and get a finished part. My goodness, that's the cat's meow, like they say. Let me get to work.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
All right, so I was gonna fill up the entire ditch with dirt and then just drive over it. Then I realized I can't do that. I need to put caution tape because that caution tape goes below the ground, right on top of the ditch. That way, if somebody down the road tries to dig up this ditch, they'll hit the tape and they know there's something under there. So I can't fill up the ditch all the way. You know what? I'm gonna go get some ramps and I'll just drive over the ramps. How about that? All right, let's do it.
When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
All right, we did it. Now, that was the first idea I had and I just went with it. While I was doing that, I started thinking, well, dummy, fill up the ditch the whole way, then get on the excavator and dig it back out a foot or two. That would have been the easier, safer way. But like I said, I had the idea and I just went with it. And, you know, more than one way to skin a cat. Filling up the ditch completely and digging it out would have been the easier way. Because now I got to take these ramps back. And I could have freaking fell off these ramps and then my day would have just gotten way longer. But I didn't, so it worked out. All right, that's all I got for today. Oh, I almost fell. That would be bad if I trip and fall in that ditch. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Sorry that I had to vent, but my goodness. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Keep them centered.
Tonight I'm feeling me. Gonna make an ugly scene. Tonight I'm feeling